Alright guys, this week we talked about Un Chien Andalou. I failed to mention, by the way, in that video, just before we get started here, I failed to mention the lyrics of a Pixies song, the song Debaser. I never understood what the guy was saying in that song, because the whole song kind of sounds like Andalusia, but he's actually saying Un Chien Andalusian. That's the lyrics of the song. He also says, "Got you a movie I want you to know," slicing up eyeballs. In case you were wondering what were the lyrics of that song, there you go. I didn't mention it. My friend pointed it out. My friend is a big Pixies fan, and so am I to a certain extent, but not as much as him, obviously. And he pointed it out. He's like, "Oh, the lyrics make sense now." But we're not talking about Un Chien Andalou. We're actually going to talk about another piece of Dali media. Not one of his paintings. We're still going to remain in the domain of film. But this is actually a short film that Dali actually did the artwork for. This was back in the 1940s, I believe. And Walt Disney was actually going bankrupt at the time. Dali was working on this film, this short film, and because of the potential bankruptcy of Disney, Disney decided to shelve the movie. Up until 2003, Disney finally finalized it and released it to the public, and you can now watch it on Disney Plus, or you can watch it on YouTube. I've never seen this movie. We're gonna watch it together. You'll get to see my reaction. I only saw one frame of the film, by the way. Just one frame. So we're gonna watch it together. You'll see how I react. We'll talk about it. Is there anything we can take away from this film? So let's watch it. It's only 7 minutes. So here's the context. So right off the bat, you can kind of see the Dali influence here. Very sexual imagery, something you wouldn't expect from a Disney movie, but something you would really expect from a Dali painting. This is friggin' beautiful. I can't believe it. This is so beautiful. Imagine if they made an animated movie today that looked like this. Look at that. So just like we talked about in our Chien Andalou, this seems to have a more surrealist vibe, not too much of a plot thread going on. So some obvious CG going on there. That's definitely a later addition to the film. Obviously, if this came out back in Dali's time, there wouldn't be CG. It's odd, the visual style is very Dali, but the sound is very Walt Disney of that era. I love that. Alright, so just watching this, I have a lot of thoughts that come to mind. Honestly, it's just a beautiful film. No doubt about it. Definitely a unique animation style, having Dali do the artwork for it. But what comes to mind mostly is the direction of Disney's animation department. I think the most interesting part in the Disney library when it comes to their animation is definitely their stuff from the 40s. Stuff like Fantasia, for example. I think Fantasia is probably my favorite Disney animated movie, but not only that, but the original Snow White is actually, I think, the best Disney princess movie because it has such an odd animation style and it looks so fluid and beautiful. And watching this as well, it kind of has that style to it, that unique style. And as Disney kind of progressed, even in the Disney Renaissance when they were making Little Mermaid and Aladdin, I feel like the design of the characters kind of got mundane, where they all kind of look like one another. And I don't like that. I like it when a movie kind of sticks out like this movie. The same can be true for their 3D animation. You look at the characters from Tangled, they look exactly like the characters from Frozen, to the point that if you were to show me a character from Tangled and told me it was a character from Frozen, I'd probably believe you. So that comes to mind. So this definitely has a unique style. It almost makes me wish that Disney revisited the Fantasia model of just having very short segments make a film. That could be interesting, and it could be a good way to get audiences interested, especially in the digital age where everything seems to be shorter formed. I feel like having a Fantasia movie come out in 2021 is actually something Disney should toy around with. I don't think they will, because the last Fantasia movie, Fantasia 2000, was very, 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 very mixed critical reception upon its release. And for some good reason, there were some weird bits in that movie.
So let me turn things over to the great Itzhak Perlman, who, I have just been informed, plays the violin. Well, so do I. Big deal. Could I have my violin, please? Ah, thank you. All right, boys, let's... Oh, sorry. Could I have another stick thingy, please? Oh, and camera back on me?
But I feel like they should give it another shot. Are they gonna bank on the name of Fantasia? I feel like people associate Fantasia mostly with the wizard Mickey Mouse. I don't think people know or recognize the name Fantasia. But if they'd made like a Fantasia movie in 2021 and used computer-generated effects, which they did in Fantasia 2000, but the game has changed so much. If you were to make a 3D animated Fantasia, where you have different art styles and maybe get some different artists to make each segment, I feel like that would make for a really cool movie. Yeah, that's what this Destino movie made me think of. You could have it as a feature-length film, then you release it on Disney Plus, and have it divided into each segment so it's easier to watch on Disney Plus. Disney, I'm giving you ideas here. You can steal my ideas, it's fine. Trust me, I've got loads of them. But if you were to make a movie like this, an hour and a half, just a couple of shorts, I think it would be a success. And I think Disney is starting to toy around with short form content a bit more. They are making Muppet shorts, which I haven't seen one, quite frankly, because I don't like the way Disney is handling the Muppets franchise. But not only that, but one of the things I liked about the Pixar movies is that they would always have a little short film at the beginning. And they kind of stopped doing that. After a while, they just started doing Toy Story short films at the beginning of the movies, and those always kind of felt like a cheat to me. I always want to see something like original and new. But now I think they're going to release those directly onto Disney Plus and not put them at the beginning of the movies. Not sure what they're doing. Last time I watched a Pixar movie was Soul, and they didn't do the short film thing. The problem with Disney is that they have like a formula, and they like to stick to the formula, which is why the design of every character kind of looks the same. But I feel like that goes against what the founder, Walt Disney, is kind of known for. He was known for being this creative madman almost, and this movie is a representation of that, as well as Fantasia and other shorts of the 1940s. They should almost go back to their roots in that way. When it comes to their animation department anyway. When it comes to their other departments, that's a different story. This movie, you guys should check it out. I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm gonna watch it again because it's just so much to absorb almost. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this Dali week on Garage Movie Club. Stay tuned, guys. More movie reviews to come.